What's up, everyone? So, running your own business is always unicorns and rainbows, right? No, wrong. Sorry, everyone.
I like unicorns.
Unicorns? Not a fan. They peaked. Old.
They're cute.
Welcome to our show. My name is Todd. I'm here with my wife and business partner, Jen. We're the co-owners of Hello Hair Co. and Hello Hair Pro. You're listening to the Hello Hair Pro podcast.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. When will this release? On the 2nd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right, so building a business. Is my mic too loud? What's happening here? Mm-hmm. All right, building a business, I think it can be extremely rewarding. Why do I struggle with that? Fun, exciting, but it's not always going to be that way.
Correct.
There are so many ups and downs, and we know for a fact that every single business is going to face challenges. It's going to face tough times. Mm-hmm. It's going to provide the owner with plenty of excuses to walk away.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, some should walk away.
Yeah.
Not trying to be harsh, but it's true. Like, owning and running a business is not for everyone. I think that everyone should try it at some point in their life, on even if it's a tiny little level. Mm-hmm. Make something and sell it online. Just experience owning a business that you're completely in charge of.
Yeah.
But today, we're not talking about that stuff. We're talking about the negatives.
We are.
So let's dive in. The first is financial risk. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to build any sort of business, it takes money.
Yep.
You need,
plain and simple.
So even if you did what I just said and you build something and sell it online, make some art, whatever, there's still a cost. Right. There's still a cost associated with that.
Mm-hmm. And your time. Yeah.
Time is the next one that we're going to go over.
Check that out.
So financial risk, there's plenty of ways to deal with it. And I guess we could go through in a different podcast and talk about how to deal with these things. Mm-hmm. But for today and for, we're still in holiday mode, we're keeping it short.
Right.
So there's got to be financial risk, and it might not even be your money. You might be borrowing money. You might have money somewhere. You might have an investor. You might have a bank, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's still a risk.
Yes.
So let's dive into the time commitment. That's the next one I had here. So having a business is, what is I see this meme everywhere, I used to, and I think Mark Cuban said it too. But it's like, I would rather work 80 hours for myself than 40 for someone else. And some days it's like that. Yep. Some days you work.
It's always funny when someone's like, "Oh, you have tomorrow off?" I'm like, "Yeah, off from
the salon's
cutting
open.
Hair, but
right.
Not off from all of the other responsibilities that I have."
Right, from making sure the lights turn on, from getting payroll in, to doing the taxes, to everything.
I love holidays because I love holidays, but also because we shut down the business from time to time, and those are true days off because I can shut my brain off and not worry about stuff.
Yeah, there's a huge time commitment when emails roll in on off hours, mm-hmm. or text messages or whatever, and everyone can talk all about boundaries, and I think they should exist as well. Like, so if you message me or email me at 9:00 on a Saturday night, I'll get back to you on Monday.
Right.
That's just,
it's the weekend.
Right. It's Sundays are our family day. So we do have boundaries, but don't think that other people are going to always respect them. You're still going to see the emails that come in unless you turn your phone off.
Right. And some might have to go beyond your boundary because maybe there's an issue that arose that needs to be taken care of more immediately.
Arose?
Arose?
Is that a word?
I don't know. I like to make up
Maybe
words.
There's an issue.
Yeah,
period.
There you go.
Arose?
Whatevs.
Yeah, emerge, become apparent, arose. Yeah. I just looked it up.
Check it out.
That's a decent word. I don't know if I've ever heard the word arose. It sounds like, oh yeah. Just getting enlightened.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, you have, there's a time commitment, and it doesn't just turn off.
Right.
Stress and pressure is another one.
Yes.
And that could come from anywhere. Like the stress of just making ends meet, making payroll, having your taxes set aside if you don't have if you're like say you're an independent artist that works for yourself and tax man calls and it's time to pay and you haven't said any of that stuff. Now there's an added stress.
Right.
Deadlines, pressure. If you're building a salon from the ground up, there's a lot of deadlines that you deal with. You need that place up and running.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of stuff to deal with.
Yeah, that's one I think.
I think I just had a flashback of standing in the space, ripping out everything down to concrete.
I think the stress, did you call it stress and anxiety? What did you call it?
I said pressure, but anxiety is good too.
I think those are things you can try to prepare for, but you will really see how well you deal with all different circumstances, ones that you may have planned for and many that you probably didn't. And if you're not handling those things well, that's okay, but figure out a way to handle them better next time. Don't worry about what you can't do now, but really start to focus on when your anxiety or all of that stuff comes in, like how are you handling it currently? And then how can you handle it better for the next time?
Yeah, it's definitely a practiced art.
Yes.
You're never going to not have stress when you own a business.
Yeah.
It's constantly going to be there. It doesn't mean that it's overwhelming at all times. Sometimes a pressure can be a lot. Other times it could be small things that just add up. So I think, you do have to take care of that. And I know we're trying to keep this quick, but this is a big one. So something like even exercise, putting on your headphones, taking a walk, take a hike. Don't walk with your headphones. Probably need to pay attention. But anyways, I've been known to go take a walk out into our woods. We are fortunate, so we have like a trail system that we can tap into. But yeah, that's big. And then exercise. If you are not moving your body, you're not going to deal with stress as well. Yeah.
Agreed.
So do that stuff. Next on our list was maintaining cash flow. So that's as simple as it sounds. There's another, I guess, stress or pressure for a business is you have to maintain cash flow. Do you have enough money coming in to cover the money going out? It's as simple as that.
Yep.
Yes or no. If yes, do you have money left over? Yes or no. If yes, congratulations, you're profitable. Most people aren't.
And if yes, just because you're profitable this month doesn't mean next month's going to drive the same type of business.
Right.
We live in New England. There are storms. We have busy times. We have slow times.
I don't know if there's storms this year. It's been like 60 degrees.
Bizarre.
But we'll have them. We will have them.
They will come. And so if you are fortunate enough to have that cash flow or some profitability, be aware that those things can come up and save that money wisely. So when they do, you're not so stressed about them. You've planned for them.
Yeah, with the cash flow, it's just keeping an eye on it. We watch trends. We have slower weeks through the year that we know we've identified. We had an advantage because you've been in the industry for 20 plus years. And we had another advantage because I had been in business. Right. So I already knew, I didn't know the specific timeframes that a salon would be slow or busy. But from when I have my gym and from when I run other businesses like restaurants and stuff, there's always those ups and downs.
Right.
So what do you do to get through those downtimes? You maximize what you can. You maximize the good times. Right. And like you said, I don't know if you just said it or you definitely have said it before, but yeah, put away the money. Like if you have a week where you know, and I'm breaking it down to a week because I'm trying to include people that work for themselves and everybody. Yeah. But so say you're an independent booth renter or whatever, and you work for yourself and you have an amazing week, like you do 2 times what you normally do, put that away for the week that you want off.
Because it's going.
There's your money to have a week off.
Yes. Or what you find.
Or a rainy day fund, you know?
The holidays, I think, in the salon business, produce a lot of people wanting to get their hair done in a short period of time. Generally, somewhere between November and the end of December. And then what happens in January? I was like, why am I so slow? Yes, you are slow, but you also were so busy because people might have shortened their appointments or did double appointments. And so now they're back on their regular schedule. So somewhere that's going to be slower unless during that time period you kept marketing yourself, getting new people in to fill in that. And if you didn't, then yes, you're going to hit a slow period because most of your clients just came in the last 6 weeks. So they're not all coming back in right now. So you have to prepare for that.
To monitor it.
Yep.
So monitor your profit and loss and your monthly statements that you should be getting. We get them.
Yep.
Because we have an awesome accountant, but.
Sure do.
All right, what's next here? Let's keep it moving, people. Competition. So this might apply to you, it might not. Your industry, whether it's hair or whatever, you're probably sitting there looking at it saying, it's so saturated. It's something to keep an eye on, right? I also like to watch competition so that, and if you're like, there's no competition, it's the hair world, it's enough for everyone. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about literally like going to the salon across the street and being like, I'm trying to beat you. It's just, what are other businesses doing?
Yes.
And if you don't keep up with other businesses, this is the point I was trying to make a second ago when I had that brain fart again. If you're not keeping up with modern times, your competition's going to like just put you out.
Right.
Not on purpose. They're not trying to, but you have to keep up with the world.
Right. If you're in business, you should be constantly growing, changing, innovating, pivoting, all of those things, and watching your competition that's around you, whether it's the same business or we talk a lot about looking at other businesses, because that you might get great ideas or see something that might work that you didn't even have as like a thought process for the business you're in. So watching competition, watching what other businesses are doing around you really helps you innovate and stay, I guess, like a forward thinker.
Yeah, a lot of people view competition as a negative thing. I don't.
I think it's great.
I do think it stresses people out because they focus on it too much. And that's the negative side of, I guess, whatever industry you're in. You look at someone else that's doing well. And if you don't have a strong mindset.
Or that you think is doing well.
Yeah, true. So I'll be honest right now. I'll drop this for anybody listening. I don't really pay attention to other salons. I look at competition as a general, like, so, and I have a few salons and shops that I follow and I think they do cool stuff. So, you know, I'm on social media. I'll hit like on stuff that I see, but I'm not looking at, you know, Salon X across the street and going, what are they doing? I have to beat them.
Right.
Like, cause I'm not.
You're already behind if that's what you're trying to do.
That's what I'm saying. Mindset. Like, but a lot of people are like, well, there's already a popular salon in my town.
Popular to who?
So
like,
what? Right.
In your town is lots of different people that want different things. They might not want what that popular salon is offering.
Right.
Or they might want what's newer and trendier and hipper and what's going on over in the corner.
Right. And you might think that what is the word I use? Popular? Boy, I am struggling today, huh? Jeez. Holidays. So you might think that someone's doing great and that leads you to follow your competition, but that might not work for you. It might, maybe you get lucky, but yeah, don't let competition get to you, and don't
let it inspire you.
Don't let people tell you that it's a negative thing.
Yeah.
Piss off.
I look at it as it helps us do better. Always.
Yeah. Competition is good. It's what drives you forward. Right. If you don't have competition, you just sit there and do the same thing over and over again, because that's where, so say you're the only car dealer for 200 miles and you have no competition. It doesn't matter what you do. People have to go to you to get a freaking car. I mean, nowadays we can just go online, but whatever. You get the point.
Yeah.
All right. The next negative thing here, and this is a negative and people love this, but regulation. So in the hair industry, we have to deal with the state and they're ultimately in charge.
Yep.
They can close you down. They can fine you. What else can they do? They can take your license.
They can lose your paperwork and then tell you have to start over.
They can do that. They can do that.
And then say you're lucky because I didn't fine you.
Yep.
Been there.
Yeah. Yep. We certainly have. So just stuff to think about if you're building out your space from scratch. You're going to have regulations. You're going to need permits. You're going to need an architect to look things over. We had to have an architect come in to look over, you know, taking down certain walls and make sure everything was just good. And obviously that's for the public safety. Things like that, regulation. Yeah. Next thing is hiring and managing people. So if you're going to, if you're managing
people is exhausting.
You done?
Done.
All right. Because you're talking over me a little bit there. I'm just kidding.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Still the same
Yeah,
person.
so hiring and managing people, that's tough. Hold on. Pause, I guess.
Pause.
And we're back. So we had little people come into our recording studio / side of our bedroom. We were talking about hiring and managing people, and it's one of the most difficult things because there's so many different personalities. There's so many different desires. People have different requirements, different needs, different attitudes, we're all so different, even though we're all really alike. That's another topic. But in general, if you're going to have a team, that's probably going to be the I don't want to say most important because all this stuff's important to deal with, but something that you want to work on.
Yes.
You're going to want to.
And it will challenge you.
Yeah.
Often.
Dealing with your team, and I say this a lot too, is your team's going to change over time. The people that got you, your team that got you from 1 to 10 is not going to be the team that gets you from 10 to 100.
And the sooner you realize that, the better off you are.
Right.
Because I love, what we set up at Hello is we are slower to hire, but quick to fire. And maybe that sounds harsh, but let me tell you, the sooner you can also adopt that into your business, if you are building a team, the better you will be. Because I have, in past businesses, kept staff too long and they became the biggest toxic thing going on in the salon. But yet at that point, it was very hard to let them go because I hadn't adopted that yet. I think if you're trying to have a great culture or your vibe in your salon, then you're going to have to work on this constantly. And you're probably going to be changing out your team members more often than maybe you're comfortable with.
Yeah, I had hiring. I didn't even have firing on here, but
it's part of the process.
So in the salon where I see people hiring all over the place, we have overflow we have people reach out and we don't have enough positions or we don't have the time to train everyone up all at once or whatever it might be. So if you're struggling to hire people, I would figure that out. Maybe your messaging is messed up or maybe people don't.
Or you didn't even have a process and you're going to want one.
So in the firing part, I used to have to do it when I had restaurants, when my gym, it sucks.
Totally.
It sucks. And a lot of times it's not even, the person might be cool. It's just they're not a great fit for your culture, like you said, or the person needs certain things that you just can't give them currently.
Correct. I've been in all of those situations.
And that would be awful to hold on to somebody because then at that point you're holding them back, really. Correct. And you're selfishly just trying to hoard employees or whatever.
I changed my mindset probably a year or so ago on firing as looking at it as I'm just releasing you from the team. You're no longer on this team. I hope you find one that fits you better. And sometimes it's them, sometimes it's me, sometimes it's a collab of both. But at that moment, this team no longer suits you or me, I guess. And when I started looking at it that way, it helped me with letting people go.
Yeah, I've never thought it was easy to do unless I was pissed off. I remember working in restaurants where people would do stuff and I'm like, I've told you 9 times.
Yeah, I've had... Guess
what? You're fired. Because if you don't leave right now, I'm going to spin kick you through the wall.
I've had one of those at Hello where I just showed up and people this is just done. I've said it enough times.
I think you've had 2 of those.
Have I? Jeez.
Yeah.
I can think of one, but sure, the other one will come to me.
All right. So that was a little list of just things that take away from your unicorn and rainbow business.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to having a business.
What about some pet peeves? Do you have any pet peeves from the industry?
Geez.
Let's keep everything as negative as possible for this entire episode. Why not?
Pet peeves are stylists that think commission salons are taking all their money.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
When that doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. Generally, you're making more money than the business because otherwise that business would be really profitable.
Right.
So that's one, that mindset to me drives me insane.
That's a flaw. That's a mindset that doesn't understand business.
Yeah. I had once someone saying to me well, I pay for your car and your house. I'm like, you
what?
Pay for any of my stuff. I pay for all my stuff. I don't know what you're thinking.
I pay for your car and your house. Okay.
I pay you a check, and here we are. Anyway, that's a big one for me. The pet peeves there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
My other one would be, again, more in a commission salon, those stylists that are sitting around being like, I'm just not busy, but they're not doing anything to get busy. They think showing up and walking through the door of the salon means they should just have clients, but they're not actively working on it. And then they're just blaming the salon for why they're not busy rather than taking on that on themselves.
So mine,
which I think is a working relationship.
For sure. So my pet peeve that I had in mind sort of plays off of that. It was just sort of like an entitlement. Like somebody comes in and they expect certain things when you haven't, you basically want a reward for something you haven't done. Mm-hmm. You haven't done anything, but you want
just because you got dressed up and drove yourself to work. That's not enough. That's what everyone does.
Or in our industry, you went to hair school. So did we all.
Yeah. What are you doing next?
I had someone once tell me that they bought their tools. They were like, well, I bought my tools and they're expensive. And I was like, take a quick look around. Every single person here bought their tools.
Yeah.
And expensive is relative. Like,
yeah.
I know people that use $20 scissors. I have a $1,200 pair.
Right.
Like it's what you want to put in. You don't have to go spend thousands of dollars at whatever store on scissors, but you could.
Right. It'll up your game immediately.
Yeah, it'll help you for sure.
Tools matter.
So yeah, those are
mine. I'll stop there because I'll probably keep going.
That's why I wanted to just sort of write it. And I didn't make any notes because I'm sure we'll have like 50 of them. And then this episode will be 9 hours long. Yeah. So I want to talk about disagreements that we've had.
Okay.
So I did write down 2. So we disagreed on a dress code in the beginning. Yes. When we opened Hello, you wanted, I don't know if you wanted all black, but you wanted more of a stricter dress code than I would put in.
I think I don't think I had decided, but you were like, I don't want it to be all black. And I was kind of like, I'm not sure even. I've had so many issues with dress codes.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that a little better now. I basically came out swinging.
I think.
And was like, I'm not wearing all black.
Right, so. And it's worked out fine. If you are not a strong leader, you're generally going to want a dress code because what has to happen, like our dress code, we have one and it's, dress professionally and this and that. And I have no problem saying to somebody, what you have on is not professional for me. Like you've got to dress up. But I couldn't, where I was at in my last salon, I would get like literally my co-owner would send me a picture. Like, can you talk to this person tomorrow? Because I don't like their outfit today. I'm like, well, I'm not in, so I haven't seen their outfit. So this means we're talking about their outfit, not with them. And I just didn't love that.
Well, it wasn't strong leader on their part.
So, and there was just people would come in and certain things.
You just have to deal with it. And
that's what I mean.
And then it's dealt with.
Are not in a strong leadership position currently, then maybe you have a dress code. So this is not one of the things you have to deal with. And then maybe as you grow as a leader, you can change that. At that point in my last salon, wearing all black took something that was a stressor off my plate because everybody looked professional and I no longer had to deal with it. At Hello, we're all about being creative. So that wouldn't have worked no matter what. It would have literally contradicted what we were inventing. So it had to be, we wanted to hire people that had all different looks and different vibes and
for sure
curate that to bring it into a great culture. But someone sometimes will text me like, what do you think about this? And I'm like, if you're already asking me, it's a no. Because if you're not sure about it. But we have now this.
And that's probably pretty rare.
Yeah, super rare. But it happens because, we had a stylist the other day came in. She looked wicked cute, I thought. But she was like, I'm going to go home and change. I'm just not loving my vibe. So it's interesting now, like, they have their own, like, nope, I'm not dressed up enough for the day. Or I don't feel confident in what I have. And she went home, she changed, she came back. She's like, I feel great. And I was like, nice, that's cool. Good. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and I was just going to add, so our dress code now is dress professionally and be covered, obviously. But that falls into professional. I feel like you have to say it just to say it.
Yeah. And we work
with a lot of younger people.
Yeah, like there's certain trends that come up. So you just have to keep that. You can still be part of the trend, just make it look professional.
Yeah, like bike shorts. I almost lost my shit when that was a trend.
Yeah.
Those were the worst. Well, you look awful. Look like you just came off of the beach.
Yeah.
All right. Beverages. That was another one that we disagreed on.
Gosh, yes.
And I guess, so this industry loves to give out free drinks. The hair industry. I don't know why.
We just started doing.
Do you do hair or do you serve drinks?
So here's the thing. I very much enjoy offering. Like
no. Let me finish for 1 second because I respect offering beverages. That's totally cool. But when it's your entire marketing strategy.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
And I see it all the time.
I do hair.
Come in for a drink.
Yeah,
Come in for a drink on us.
Come in and get your hair done.
A drink is included. Come get a drink. Yeah. Hang out in our lounge and have a drink. What are you talking about? Yeah. Are you a bar? Are you a cigar lounge? You're going to pop on your website and stuff is going to start ranking for bars near me.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah, I do. Anyways, I also don't want to be responsible because we're not there all the time. Mm-hmm. And our clientele, our target client for sure, is not somebody that's going to come in and get sauced.
Right.
But I know people that have had to, people that have had kegs and they have to sit there and monitor because guys will come in and have like 3 or 4 beers. And, you talk about things maybe because you're a little
again, if you're marketing that you have these free drinks, then that's on you.
Right. And
we don't market that we have drinks, but
never.
I want you to have a coffee or a water or whatever if you would like to.
Right. And if you want a glass of wine, I'm fine with it. If you want a beer, we have stuff at our salon. We just don't, it's not a focal point. Yeah. We're not trying to trick people into getting a haircut by giving them
if anything,
booze.
people are like, oh, you have that? Okay. Like they're surprised by it.
And I was going to say the responsibility that, like, I've worked in the bar industry. So I've been through training where, like, it's serious stuff. You give people alcohol, and then you're sort of responsible. Not even sort of.
Yeah,
if they get into an accident or something, and that comes up,
that's on you.
Or if they drink before they come in, and you give them a drink, like that's on you. So just go back to what we were talking about earlier, regulations, and make sure you know
your stuff.
Where you fall. All right, let's sort of wrap this up. So why, I just want to touch on, if we have these disagreements and we have these sort of opposite approaches from time to time, why is that a good thing for our business?
Well, first, I find it sometimes to be really fucking frustrating, but that's just going to be normal. And second, I do think
me?
It's really great because it does make you grow and keeps your business in a growth mindset because you're always being challenged. And although as frustrating as it can be to be challenged, because sometimes you're like, I just want to do what I want to do. You don't want your business to be run just on one set of beliefs. Like you need it to be challenged in order to make sure you're doing things the right way. It's growing the right way. It's fitting your mission, your core values, and everything that you believe. So I think it's important to have different perspectives and point of views and to challenge, like, why are we doing this or how are we doing this?
Yeah, I love to have the opposite thought, I guess, sort of thrust in my face. Like if you fall into starting to think like all of your ideas are great,
right,
you're going to run into an issue. Mm-hmm. And when you work by yourself, you're probably going to think all your ideas are great because no one's saying they're not.
Right.
And so I love when I come up with something and you're like, what? And I'm like, no, fill me in, break it, smash it apart. Tell me why it won't work because I'm going to learn and then I can build off of that. Mm-hmm. I also think, like you said, or you were sort of getting at, is it keeps you in check too. Mm-hmm. It keeps you on your toes. You can't get complacent because somebody's going to be like, what are you doing? What do you even do here? Right? Why are you here? So opposites are a good thing. All right. Before we do the sponsor, I have a quick question that I want to ask you.
Oh boy.
Just sticking with this negativity theme. And it's not even that bad, but
that was my laugh right there. I hope you all enjoyed that.
So what is something, if you could hit Control-Alt-Delete, if you could snap your fingers and one thing would be completely erased from the entire industry, what would it be?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know. If I could Control-Alt-Delete one thing.
Yeah, if you could just disappear one thing.
I guess off the top of my head, I'm going to be at stylists who are passive-aggressive to their clients.
All right.
Because that drives me insane.
Yeah.
Tell the client that they suck. Tell them that they're late all the time. You don't want them to be.
Right.
Don't tell it to all the other clients that actually do show up.
Right.
And are good to you.
Right. Yeah, that's a very confusing and off-putting tactic. Sort of tacky too.
Yeah.
But anyways, do what you want to do.
What's yours?
I didn't have one. I was just asking you the question. Okay. I can't have a secret question for myself.
I hope I answered that well. That was tough. I don't know. I'm sure I'll think of something else better later, but I'll go with that for now.
If I could Control-Alt-Delete one thing from the industry, and I think all right, I'll give you one.
Okay.
And this is controversial. I've had people reach out.
Guess what you're going to say.
I would get rid of the regulation.
I knew that. I knew that's what you were going to.
And I think people are probably going to think something or say something like, what about the schools and how would people learn? I didn't say get rid of schools.
Yeah,
words are important. Yeah.
I'd have one.
Schools would be way better.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't have a stupid, dumb test that you have to take that's irrelevant. Like, that doesn't do anything at all. That test does nothing. It does nothing.
No, you're doing a manicure, and if you're not going to ever do manicures, why is that even part of it?
Or you know what shape a bacteria is, so now you're a virologist.
Yeah,
I saw that
forget all that in 2 seconds.
I saw all that stuff through the pandemic, and they wrote, like, people were saying, like, well, who's better to deal with viruses than hairstylists? And I was like, literally anyone. Why do you think you... I don't know, scientists, doctors? Geez. Yeah, that is wild. And I know I've gotten comments before, and I've had people reach out through social media and stuff whenever I talk about this, but I think that the industry would be better because it would drive people, it would drive innovation, and it wouldn't hold us to this test that was when the last time that's been updated.
No clue.
I know they make little changes and stuff, but it's not anything modern.
No, I just saw the last group of our staff having to study for it, and I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up. Okay. It's the holidays. This episode is brought to you by Ping Pong Design and Marketing. If you want to love your website or you're looking for more clients to fill your business or your chairs, reach out to Ping Pong. They're offering our audience a special discount. Visit the show notes, reach out to Chris, talk to him about your needs. We use Ping Pong too, so.
It's amazing.
Yeah, check it out. I also write their blog posts, so check it out.
Check it out.
All right, we'll see you next time. Happy New Year. Thanks for listening. Bye.